What's up, you guys? Alright, today is the 18th of January, Wednesday. It's just about 11 a.m. local time. Maybe just a hair before that. Alright, we are almost into Rippon, California right now. We are on our way to Stockton, Scotty D's area. Unfortunately, I don't think Scotty's in the area right now, and I'm not going to have time to meet up anyway, more than likely. Even if he is, even if you are in the area, Scotty, I don't know. I know you've been out on the road, so I don't know. Alright, anyway, though, we're going to be making a delivery to the Martin Brower's facility, which is McDonald's affiliate here in Stockton. It's a place I've been to before, but only once, and that was like 6 years ago. I honestly don't remember anything about the place. I had to actually look at the Google reviews and the satellite and all that kind of stuff. Even at the satellite, I'm like, I don't really clearly remember the place. I got reviews. I looked at the reviews, though. It seemed like they were all right. But I did see someone say don't show up more than like 15 to 30 before your appointment time. So I did have to leave. I started my day today in Madera, just not too far north of Fresno. About a 95-mile trip from there to the customer. I had to make sure I left late enough where I'd get there within that window that the other person said in the reviews. Alright. So that's what's going on. Where we get it from, though, because that's not where we delivered to. What we did with the last video you saw. Last video you saw from me was a delivery video in Plainview, Texas. And I think I had mentioned in there at the end of the video, I was on my way up to Amarillo when I wasn't sure if I was going to get a reload and run off recaps, or if I was going to do a 34-hour reset. Turned out, I did get a pre-plan the following day, but I only had like 11 hours left on my clock, and I was only, I think I had 16 or whatever, but between the next 2 nights, I was only going to have enough to have about 22 and a half hours to work with. And from Amarillo to here, with a lot of it being California, I was like, if I was somewhere else, like maybe going across like Nebraska or somewhere, that probably wouldn't have been a problem. But a lot of California miles doing less than 60 miles an hour, because I don't do more than like 59 or so while I'm in the state. That was going to be a problem, and I was thinking, I was pretty sure I was going to be about half an hour to maybe an hour short of what I needed to get up here yesterday. So I gave my dispatch an ETA of about 2,300 last night, best case with the recaps. And then I did the math, like, okay, well, if I do a 34, when will I be done with it? It was going to be about midnight California time, going 15th into the 16th. And I would have been able to get here at best to like 1800, 1900-ish on that same last night also. So I gave that ETA, that info to my dispatch before I even, right after I even accepted the load. Now, when I accepted the load, it said that it was due for pickup originally on the 11th. And that it was supposed to be up here in Stockton on the 15th. So I'm like, whoa, this is a bit of a problem here. So I asked them, I sent a message asking, is this thing being rescheduled or something? Because pretty obvious I can't make on time delivery. I never got a response, so I just said, screw it. I'll go ahead and accept the pre-plan, but put in there, no, I can't get to the load on time, and no, I can't deliver it on time. So I assume they probably already knew about it, but at the same time, I was kind of wondering, did someone accidentally send me a load, a pre-plan for a load that, I don't know, might have already gotten delivered or something, but it didn't make sense. because it did say it was at Fleet Refrigeration in Amarillo, which actually is a place that we use both as a drop yard as well as for trailer and reefer repairs, or more so reefer repairs. So another place right down the street from that same place that we do, I think that does the trailer repairs. But yeah, if you're not familiar with the place, it's pretty much right across I-40 from the Flying J on the east end of Amarillo. That's where the load was sitting. Then, of course, with it sitting where it was, I was kind of curious, is this thing here because it had a problem with the reefer unit or trailer, or is it here because the driver dropped it for some other reason? I couldn't get info out of the dispatcher on why it was sitting there, so I went ahead and called our breakdown people and asked about it instead. And they told me that they didn't have any information on why they didn't have anything at all, basically, why it would have been there for maintenance. So I take that to mean that another driver dropped it there for whatever reason it was. They could have had a maintenance issue, or maybe they had a family emergency, had to go home or something, or I don't know. Maybe they live in the general region and had to drop it for planned time off. Maybe they're quitting, I have no idea, but I just know the trailer was sitting there and yeah, ready to go. It's it was basically, it's a load of frozen McDonald's related product, like hotcakes and other stuff. It came from one of the Bama cold storage facilities in the Tulsa area. I didn't pay much mind which specific facility it is, because I know there are at least 3 facilities over there. At least 3 Bama cold storage facilities that I'm personally familiar with. Might be more, but I know there's at least 3, and then I've been to 2 of them myself. You gonna get on to 120 there? I hope, yeah, you are. Okay. I was hoping someone wasn't gonna squeeze themselves over here. Alright, so that's where it came from. Alright, so I think I should still have time to talk about what I intend to talk about. I was actually starting to wonder if I should talk about it now or wait until I do my next pickup, which I just got a pre-plan in about 10 minutes ago. I have no idea what it is yet, because I can't see it while I'm driving. But when I get to the customer, I'll get it figured out, and we'll have a definite answer for you and where we're going next at the end of the video. Alright, so that said, with this trip, I noticed there was a bit of an issue here with my ELD. Alright, so I'll first say that, well, yeah, before I got the load, I ended up meeting up with my buddy David. He was coming across I-40 on the way to North Carolina while I was parked on my 34 in Amarillo. So he stopped in town, did his 30-minute break there, and we met up for food there before he continued on. Alright, then I got the load picked up and moving. Shit. We got, yeah, this, let me get sped up here so I can get into this gap so it's less of a problem. This is one of those where I don't care if I'm speeding or not. I'd rather remove a traffic conflict there, do what I have to do to eliminate a traffic conflict, than worry about whether I'm speeding or not. Alright, so anyway, yeah, I got the load picked up. I went over to the Flying J to scale it out, and I think max out all my tanks. So yeah, actually pretty good prices there with the 15-cent rebate in there added in for that we get. That was actually one of among the best prices that I was going to get between there and Tucumcari, which is what I thought I had the range for. But anyway, after I picked the load up, I got it moving, and then where did I end up stopping? Dancing Eagle Travel Center. Yeah, Dancing Eagle Travel Center in Casablanca, New Mexico, exit 108. I stopped there a lot. Alright, so while I was there, I got a little tired. like I usually do when I'm driving at night. Decided to do a 2-hour break. Now I had time, what I thought would be time on it, and even if I didn't, I was going to do 2-8, or well, we'll get to that part in a second here. Splits all the way to the customer, because I can eliminate 30-minute breaks by doing it that way, for one, for the most part. And but on this particular case now, I had an issue with my ELD. Well, not there in Casablanca, but when I did the long part of my break, when I ended my shift in Williams, Arizona. So I'm going to show you my logs there. You're going to see the screenshots there. You're going to see that when I was in Casablanca, I had 5 minutes of off-duty time first. Went inside after I got parked to go use the restroom. Came back out, got back in the truck, and went to sleeper berth to get some sleep. We got on-ramp traffic I got to worry about, several of them here. And let's see if I can get over here after this white car goes by. That pickup's speeding anyway, I don't give a shit. I got no sympathy for him. If you can't see what's going on here, then you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. Alright, is the Ford ever going to pick up the speed so I can drop in behind him? I don't want to be dropping in that close. Yeah, I had to back off on the speed to help get a little bit more space here now. Alright, anyway, yeah, I did what was it? I think 219. Yeah, 219 in sleeper berth. And then I did 12 minutes of off duty. Basically, I went back inside, get a drink and a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, and got rolling. And when I ended up completing my shift in Williams, Arizona. I could have ran all the way to Seligman, Arizona, but I wanted to stop in Williams so I could get a shower. So at the end of my shift, you'll see from that screenshot, I did like about 48 minutes of off-duty time first, because I got a shower and then I got me a bite to eat. Went right back to the truck and went into sleeper berth. And the plan was to do a 7-2 split. And yes, I do mean 7-2, not 7-3. We'll talk about that also, because that kind of ties into my story here, right? We got a few minutes left, by the way. Anyway, though, I get to Williams, and I go into sleeper berth. Now, the way the 7-hour, or the split sleeper provision works now, the minimums, and it says right there, verbatim, pretty much, on the FMCSA HOS website, that the short part of the split has to be at least 2 hours long in any combination of off-duty or sleeper. It says in or out of the sleeper berth. And it says the long part must include at least a 7-hour uninterrupted sleeper berth period. It can be longer than that, and it can have, it doesn't say as much, but you can have it be like 7.5 hours long as at least 7 hours of it's in sleeper. And the short half of the break is at least 2 hours long, and the 2 breaks add up to enough time to give you a full 10-hour break. So what that means, and I've seen this written elsewhere before, is if you do 2 hours and 15 minutes in your short break, then your long break has to be 7:45 long, with at least 7 of it in sleeper. If it's 2:36 like mine was, then I have to do 7:24. Should have been what the requirement was. But what actually happened is, like I said, now it was going to be more than 7:24, because I had that 48 minutes, and it was going to be an extra 25 minutes beyond that minimum before I got my 7-hour sleeper berth period in. So I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs, watching my clock at count down to 7 hours in sleeper, and I get to 7, and even 7:01, and it's still sitting here with 19 minutes left on my clock. What should have happened was the drive time that I did before the stop, between Amarillo and Casablanca, should have came back after that, because I did at least a 2-hour break in the middle of the shift. it didn't come back though, and I'm like, well, why is it not coming back? It should be back by now. And I ended up having to wait until I was already there for about 8.5 hours total, or 7:40 in sleeper berth, before it gave me that clock back. I'm like, wait a minute, we got a problem here. So I looked at my record, my logs and all that, and started comparing, and if it came back at 7:40, then there had to have been, like 2:20-ish that it was counting it with on the other side, and the only thing that counted up to about that was the sleeper only period on the short break. And it even says very clearly on the rules that any combination of any in or out of sleeper berth period counts toward the 10. As long as you get at least 7 hours on the long part, you're good. So I noticed now, hey, we got a problem here, and then so I started. Let me get zoomed in, by the way. I had that zoomed out so you could see where I was in relation to Sacramento. All right, and we're gonna get off the freeway right here at Arch Road. All right, so I call our logs department because Hirschbach has. Yes, I do drive for JCT, but we're owned by Hirschbach, and we're going to be getting absorbed into Hirschbach over time. And they have logs people who work 24/7. I found that out after the last time I had an issue with my ELD. So this time around, immediately after, I took screenshots of all my stuff, and then called our logs people up and asked them for, hey, what's going on here? We got a problem. It should not be. I shouldn't have had to wait till 7 hours and 40 minutes in sleeper before getting my clock back. It should have given it to me as soon as I had 7 hours in sleeper. No, we'll wait because the other side just got a green light. I don't see a no right on red sign here, but they just got a green. Anyway, so the guy I talked to, it took a little bit here because usually they tend to be a little preachy at times, and I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they would try to understand my situation first, get the full detail first, find out what I know about the the split sleeper provision first, and then try to educate me on something if there's something I don't know properly. Because there are drivers out here who don't know exactly the proper way to use the 7.2, the split SB. Alright, anyway, so I ended up explaining to him though, hey, because he was trying to tell me that all of the long part had to be in sleeper. I'm like, you're full of shit, man. Like, I wasn't rude about it. I didn't say it exactly that, but I said, now this is completely inaccurate, and so I actually read off verbatim right from the HOS rules what it says about split SB. And I go, where in that information does it tell you that I have to spend all of the long break in sleeper? It doesn't. It says I have to do at least 7 hours of sleeper, but the period, the break as a whole can be any length of time. All right, we're going to make this turn here. Fight court. Yeah, that's it. And he got to when he was hearing it, whatever, it's like, I think he started thinking I might, that's all right, that I might be right. So he started getting information down from me, and looking at my logs, and because I was telling, hey, look, that first short break added up to 236. So I told him as soon as I got to 724 in length on the long break, I had the 10 hours, but I did not have the 7 hours in sleeper berth yet. So I said once I got to 7 hours in sleeper berth, it should have given me my clock right there, but it didn't. So I told him I had to wait till I was 740 in the break, and which meant that the only thing that counted on the short break was my sleeper time. And it was very clear from the rules that it should have been counting the off-duty time on the short part of the break also. And I told him, and I might be done driving, and you're out of your mind if you think I'm going to spend my entire 7-hour, minimum like 7+ hours in the sleeper berth. Yeah, we're going to go straight ahead right up here. Because, who doesn't have to get out of their truck and use a restroom or something, or want to grab, get supplies or food or something when they get done with their, when they get done with their shift. I know I don't. I'm not going to go sitting there pissing in a piss bottle because someone says I have to do all my entire break like that. Alright, I'm going to need PO number, I think, and let me get into the proper status. Alright guys, we're checking. Ah, shit, hang on, this thing's trying to close on me. It took me a minute to, come on, you gonna let me in or not? Yeah, it took me a second to get my truck started up and all that kind of stuff, and get it set back up for you guys. Alright, we're going to make this right turn here. We're going to dock into door 11. Do not open your doors. Leave the seal on. Just park in front of it first. Okay, this does look vaguely familiar now. Staging area. Okay, that's, well, yeah, I won't be using the staging area because she said go straight to door 11. If given a door, go left, proceed to door. If no door, turn right and come into the staging lot. Okay. Park along fence and walk to receiving. Okay, we'll have more on this story for you guys. Might have to finish the story, maybe even on the next video too. It does give me something to talk about. I can kind of break it down into what the ELD issue was. And then my next video, my pickup or something, I can always just talk about some of another miscellaneous thing related to it. Oh, okay, I'm right next to this guy. I don't really want to dock in with him right there, though. It's not safe to be doing that. He's playing with his wheel nut, lug nut covers and stuff, and see, I can't see him now, so I'm not going to be able to see where he's at in relation to where my trailer is, and I know where I know where he's at, but or at least where he was. A little bit wide there. I'm tracking toward door 10, but that's all right. Gives him a wide berth. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it like that. There we go. Perfect. Just a little bit more to the left. It's not squared up against the door there. That looks better now. Okay, so we'll get back in, where we're just a few feet before the end of the door, and then we'll go get checked in. Alright guys, we are already done unloading here. It was just barely around noon by the time they were already done with me. It was pretty fast. The other two guys who docked in also got done really fast as well. They aren't messing around here. I had an 11:30 appointment time, but I got here at about 11:20 or so, and within 40 minutes I was already done and ready to leave. That's pretty impressive. Alright, I already got my doors shut. We're just going to head out to the exit and mark our way out of here. We'll talk about, probably just let you know what's going on next. And then when we do that video, that next pickup video, I will finish this story for you guys. That way we don't make this video longer than it really needs to be, and it gives me something that I can always talk about on the next one anyway. Alright, it is actually a little on the warm side in here. I need to put the 69 degrees here right now. Let me get... I'm trying to figure out where I needed to put my my climate controls, or where I wanted them at least. Okay, so yeah, we'll just we'll get out of here and I'll let you know where we're heading to next. Like I said, and then we'll finish the story with the split sleeper issues on the next video. Alright, we are good to go here. Alright, so I have a pre-plan to reload. It's not until tomorrow evening though. I will be picking up at one of the Grimway Farms facilities in Arvin, California. Arvin, if you're not familiar with it, is on the south side of Bakersfield. It's basically one of the Bakersfield suburbs. And I'm pretty sure I've been to that particular facility a couple times. I don't know the exact address. They have multiple facilities. I just know that it's in Arvin. And I've been to more than one facility in Arvin. So, more than likely I've been to the one that I'm going to. That's all I can really tell you though, otherwise. Alright. Got ourselves a green light though now. Alright, so I will want to get the trailer washed out. I will probably do that in Fresno. There's a truck wash in Fresno that I regularly like to go to. We have, JCT does have an account with them. So, and they have a dedicated washout bay there too. So, I don't have to sit there and wait for other people. Alright. I mean, if there's anybody to wait for at all, it'll just be another washout customer or something. I don't have to sit there and wait for someone to get their truck and trailer washed out like I have to at a lot of other places. So that's one thing I do like. Not to mention the account. It's easy to get checked in and out of there and be on my way. I haven't decided yet where I want to end my shift today. I could either do the Flying J on the north end of Bakersfield, southbound left lane, okay. Or there's another truck stop on Highway 58 off of Weed Patch Highway, just on the east side of Bakersfield. I could also go to for and hang out there as well. Depending on the facility, we might even be able to park overnight at the Yeah, I don't think I'm going to, but I might have the option there of camping out at whichever shipper, at the shipper as well. It's like I said, there's at least a couple of Grimway Farms facilities in Arvin that I know of for sure, and one of them I know you can stage in early. The other one I don't remember. So, and there may be more. There's a whole bunch of Grimway Farms in that whole area. They're usually all carrot related, or then again it's Bolt House Farms, I think. There's another one right there off of Weed Patch and Highway 58, but on the north side of the freeway instead of the south, and on the parallel road there. I think it's Bolt House Farms though, but that's not carrots, it's something else, but I always want to say it's Grimway. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here for you guys, right? We'll keep it, like I said, try to keep it reasonably short. That's what's going on next. It's not picking up until tomorrow evening, so I'm going to be having a fair amount of downtime before I go pick the load up. Alright, we'll talk to you guys, we'll see you guys on a new one when we're picking up there, right? Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you then.